Now that we got our studs laid out, we're going to put in a rough opening. This is called a rough opening to put a door in. So we're going to put a door in our wall. How rough openings come into play here is we have to look over here. So if I have a 3/0 door, it's a 36-inch door, and it's 6'8" tall, so 3/0, 6'8". My rough opening has to be 38.5 by 82.25. So we need to make our rough opening for that. So I'm going to start out, and if I look, and I remember here, we have a trimmer stud. So I'm going to take my first stud and I'm going to make a trimmer stud next to it. I don't know how tall to make that stud yet, but if I take a peek over here, I can see I have to have an 82.25 high, 38.5 wide. So we're going to learn another little tool here. Helpful little tip for you to go back in here, and I'm going to go to front view. So we're going to start our rough opening from this stud. So right here we're going to put our trimmer stud on, but we needed it to be 82.25 high. So I am going to use my tape measure tool, and I'm going to click on this red line. Should say on edge. Don't click over here, just click on the red line below. And I'm going to go 82 space 1/4, enter. There is the beginning of my header height. So that is where this line is. So I need my trimmer to sit there, and I need to have my header sit above. So I'm now going to rotate or orbit a little bit, or I can click into 3D. And I'm going to draw my little rectangle here, just like I have in the past, a couple times. 3.5, comma, 1.5, enter. Use my push-pull, and I'm going to push-pull it up to this line right here. Boom, there's my trimmer stud. I'm going to make a component of it, so I'm going to use a select tool. Triple click, right click, intersect faces, or sorry, make component, intersect faces is something else, and I'm going to call it a trimmer stud. Okay. I go into my component browser. Oh, look at that, I got trimmer studs in there now. Next piece, I can erase this little line, and it said my width has to be 38.5 inches. Come back over here. I'm going to use that tape measure tool again. Click on the midpoint, 38.5. So there's where my opening has to be. So I'm going to move trimmer stud, tap the control key from this point, sliding it right over to this point. So there's my opening. I can move this stud over. This is just a king stud. And this stud I can get rid of. So there is my opening. That's 38 wide, 38.5 wide by 82. 38.5 wide by 82.25. I'm going to do the last little piece, which is making my header. So there's a double 2x header on top of here. We're going to do it a double 2x6. Put a 2x6 on each side and extend it over. So I'm going to start out, I'm going to come over here, going to draw this up, and it has my 6 inches first and then 1.5 second, so 5.5 comma 1.5, enter, push pull, and I'm going to drag it right on over, and triple click, right click, make component, header, two by 6, and then I'm going to put it for the door size, 3-0. So I know if I'm going to make another 3.0 door, I can just pull that header in. And we have that size all figured out. Last thing I have to do is make that copy. So I'm going to go move, control, and there you'll notice that little 1/2 inch gap in there. Notice what it says over here. 1/2 inch plywood spacer in between. So it sucks it all together. So our header, or our door opening, our trimmer, and our header is all done. And this concludes the project. You should now know how to draw to size, how to use the move tool, how to make a component, and that's what you'll be doing in your project. So if I take a peek here, I have all of my information, all of my little parts and pieces, all built in there. Nice work.